Yeah, just about to start taking my fuel tank out on this 2003 Hilux. So the fuel filter, this pipe going to the engine comes from the fuel filter, and that's the fuel filter there. And this is the line coming up from the fuel tank. So the fuel filter is basically right beside the fuse box there. Yeah, I thought I'd better check the fuse first, just to make sure there's power getting down there. So workshop manual says to check the relay and the fuse. It's all controlled, the fuel pump and that's controlled by the EFI. So I got the fuse is this one here, the 15 amp one just there next to this relay, and then it says to take the EFI relay out and check it for continuity. So you've just got to power it up with a couple of leads from the battery. So yeah, I've checked this. Got a couple of test leads on there. Make sure you check your test leads for bloody continuity. I had one that wasn't working, and yeah, just a bit hard to show this, but I've got the multimeter on there, and you put those two leads on those, and the test down there, and you can probably hear the multimeter going the continuity. So the relay is working all right. Got the fuel. There's a guard on the fuel tank, and a pretty good one. 6 bolts, 14 mil. Just going to whip all them out and see what we've got. Yeah, it's got a drain plug, thank God for that, because I was a bit worried I'd have to try and siphon it out. Yeah, so it came off fairly easy. The bolts are actually 12 mil. Just cleaned up around the bung with a wire brush and a rag, just to make sure no shit dropped down with the fuel when I drain the fuel out. I've got a plastic container here. Probably not the most safest thing to do, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to drain it into there. I'll probably have to drain it a couple of times because I think it's about half full. Yeah, I got 3 hoses here to disconnect. One of them's missing a clamp. And try and unplug those before I unbolt it. Yeah, 22 years of grease flung up there from the bloody uni joint. So I tried to clean it up a bit, just so that bloody any loose stuff doesn't get in anything. Okay, yeah, it's a bit dark under here, but there's a few lines running here and there, and the fuel gauge wires. And the one that didn't have a clamp on, it's got a nut, got a little union on it there, so I'll have to undo that. And hopefully those filler hoses will just drop out of there. I got the tank sitting up on an old oil can there, and a bit of stuff here. And yeah, this union, it fought me the whole way. It's like I tried all the right spanners on it for a start. There's a 19mm on the big one, and the other one's 14mm. And yeah, I had one of these proper spanners and all that, and I could not crack it. And eventually I put a bit of possum piss all over it and bloody smacked it with a couple of hammers off from each side, like at the same time. It's an old plumber's trick. And then I just had to use some vice grips because nothing else would grip onto that. And eventually cracked it. But after I cracked it, it fought me the whole way off. The thread was like damaged to something because it just was really tight all the way out. Anyway, I've got one wire off there. I've got to try and work out how the hell this other plug comes off. This one here. Anyway, I'm getting there slowly. Yeah, just undo the fuel filler lines, those 3 bolts there, and it just drops out. Well, that was the mission. Got it out. But, yeah, bit of a shit fight. The plugs that go on here, this one was full of dust and dirt, I think, because it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't get it off. I ended up putting a screwdriver on it and giving it a tap with the hammer, and it slipped off. And the other one that goes on the fuel there, I fiddled around with it for quite a while, but it did slip off eventually when I was pushing it with a screwdriver. But I think there's so much dust collected up in there and got in all around the plastic terminals. Anyway, I've tested the pump off the battery with these little test leads. Checked I had power here at this plug with the multimeter, and when I plug it in, nothing happens. So hopefully it's that pump now that's died and given me trouble. Anyway, I'm glad it died now, because it's about to do 1,000 mile, and it's 1,000 mile bloody trip up to Queensland.